Yes, you've said that you might be the last Tibetan Dalai Lama. Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
As early as 1969, one of my formal statements, I stated that the very institution of Dalai Lama should continue or not up to Tibetan people. So that means at the time, my last day, the concerned people feel now this Dalai Lama institution, almost I think 6th century old tradition, is this no longer relevant? Then cease. I have no concern. I think Chinese Communist government more concerned about the future Dalai Lama. I know.
So what?
I think I must add something. Some people, you see, feel the Dalai Lama institution is so important for Buddhism. This is not. Buddhism 2,500 years. And Buddhism flourished in Tibet also over 1,000, more than 1,000. 1,300 years since 7th century, and particularly since 8th century. So Dalai Lama institution only 5 centuries, 6 centuries.
Spring chicken.
What do you mean?
Young. Very young. Spring chicken is a young chicken.
Sometimes I'm rather critical about some of Tibetan practice. The Tibetan Buddhist, so much emphasis, importance of Lama or Lama institution. That's wrong. In India, no such sort of institution. Individual who through practice, who through study, and eventually become master or spiritual, sort of highly developed spiritual person, then become leader. That's very I think realistic and proper Buddhist way. And Tibet case, I think some spiritual leaders eventually, like Dalai Lama, eventually you see they involve some political power. So that in a way may be used, but in a way to spoil the pure spirit of Buddha Dharma. Right?
So what?
And then I usually use it expressing if end of Dalai Lama institution come, then 14th Dalai Lama quite popular. At least 5-6 century old Dalai Lama institution and with quite popular. If 15th Dalai Lama come and eventually become disgraced, very bad.
You'd be gone, right?
No?
You'd be gone.
You have studied. You've studied the works of Dr. Martin Luther King and the Civil Rights Movement. What have you learned about the movement that has most impressed you?
I must say, I must confess, not very systematic study. But basically, Martin Luther King was, I think, a genuine believer or follower or practitioner of Mahatma Gandhi's non-violence. Then, you see, some of his speech, I think really on the basis of firm belief about non-violence and also quite sort of strong. So that gives millions of people self-confidence and more courage. That's really wonderful, really wonderful. Then, of course, I never sort of met Luther King, but I know his his son, and then also his wife as a widow. I met. So I learned directly from his family. He's so much attracted about Mahatma Gandhiji. So one occasion he even wanted to dress like Gandhi. So that I little sort of surprised. One American dressed like Gandhi. I think his sincere sort of practice of Mahatma Gandhi's ideology, that is more than enough. Now, not necessary is it to change dress. I also very much admire Mahatma Gandhiji's sort of way of life, simplicity, full of inner strength, confidence. I consider myself one of the follower or admirer and follower of Mahatma Gandhiji. I never thought I'd change my dress like Mahatma Gandhi.
Your Holiness, so during the teaching this morning, you made a comment that I thought was very interesting. You said you had studied many different texts, but now you were looking for answers in scientific research. I don't know if maybe I misunderstood the comment, but can you expound a little bit on that, if that is if I did hear it correctly?
Oh, as I mentioned earlier, traditionally, Dalai Lama institution belongs to Yellowheads tradition. But then, second Dalai Lama, very much non-sectarian. Wait, non-sectarian. Then particularly fifth Dalai Lama, also non-sectarian. Then